We back. Coming at you with another episode from ChooseYourRelationships.com, author of Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. Cedric. I don't know. You tell me, Cedric. Huh. Interesting. Huh. Williams. Good evening. Columbia. Where you from? Where you from? Represents your city. With all the knowledge you drop in. Glad you're getting something out of it, man. You know? Newark in the house. Like the video. Virginia. People from all over the place. Up north, down south, west, worldwide. Yeah, hit the like video. Yeah, hit the like video. Ugh. Man. People from everywhere. Worldwide at this point. You know? Worldwide. Who would ever thought that would happen? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, man? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's really going on out here, out in these streets? Like the video. Share the video. You know? Any questions? If you got questions, I got answers. You got questions, I got answers, man. You dig? And in fact, matter of fact, you can call up. Call in. 315-8203. Call in. Dun, dun. Yeah, you know. You know, they say, you know what they say, conversation rules the world. And a wise man told me a long time ago, you can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You know? You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. I put that on Amazon. Not Amazon, Instagram earlier today. And I don't think a lot of people got it. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. Is the ADOS movement a waste? We have to wait and see, William. I think only time will tell when it comes to the ADOS movement. Just gotta wait and see how it plays out. I don't know who exactly is behind it, to be honest. I know they're having a conference in Kentucky sometime this year. It really depends on who's behind it, who's funding the movement. That's where the rubber meets the road. Just follow the money when it comes to movements, and that's going to really tell you if it's a waste of time or not, William. That's usually how that goes in most cases. You know, who's funding that movement? That's going to tell you everything, at least the majority. I haven't looked up. I think they got a website. I haven't actually looked up to see what's really going on with it as far as information, anything like that. But we'll see. We'll see. Only time always tell, as usual. But we'll see, man. But you gotta. One thing about just living in this world that we live in, if you really want to get anything done, there's no way around it. You have to be able to talk to people in a way that benefits you first, and then if you want to look out for other people, you can bring them along too. But there's no way around that either, really. A lot of times, a lot of communication is nonverbal. I would say the majority is nonverbal. It's like sometimes if you pose in the right clothes, you get chose. So sometimes it depends on how you carry yourself, how you walk, how you talk, how you present yourself, how you promote yourself, especially on these, especially in the workplace. A lot of times it's not the smartest person that gets promoted on a lot of these jobs. And if people don't know who you are, and if people don't see what you do, it doesn't really matter. It's like you can have it's the whole concept. You can have the best product in the world, you can do the best job in the world, but if you're not sticking out, if enough people aren't seeing your progress out in the open, it doesn't really matter. So you have to always keep these things in mind, regardless of where you at, work, your personal time. It doesn't really matter, really. Any environment, it's like you have to always be conscious of how you're like coming across. You gotta use your words wisely. And when it comes to speaking, as far as words go, it's probably one of the most underused, undervalued skill. A lot of people don't really put a lot of, I should say, awareness into what they say. They're just talking all the time, which is a problem, because if you're talking all the time, you're going to miss out on a lot. This is why I ask a lot of questions, regardless of who I'm around. I let other people do most of the talking. because I'm not really a big talker anyway, to be honest. I don't talk a lot all the time. I talk a lot sometimes, but when I'm around like my friends, family, or maybe just somebody that I just met, I don't do a lot of the talking. I let them do majority of the talking, and I just try to represent myself in such a way where if anything happens, I won't be ashamed of it. I represent for myself. I represent my last name. So that's really important to me. So the way I see it is, you have your nonverbals, and then you have your vocals, and your nonverbals has to be in alignment with your verbals. you know and see, when you're out and about, men and women, especially women, they're watching you. It's like, people are really watching you. you know this is why a lot of guys that talk a lot of women tend not to trust them, because a lot of women, they be doing stuff. So women will be peeping you out just to see if you're a blabbermouth. And if you're a blabbermouth, she's probably not gonna want to get involved. She's probably not want to get probably not want to get involved with you, or might question whether she should get involved with you, because you talk too much. Like, it's some of I would say some of the biggest players I know, they're very low key. They don't talk a lot. They don't they downplay a lot of stuff a lot. And it's not the guy that's so obvious either. It's always the guy that's kind of clean cut, laid back. It's like he's very private in most cases, to a certain extent. Doesn't tell his friends and family what's going on. He doesn't bring, a different girl around every holiday or every month, or whenever there's a cookout or a party or anything like that. No, it's usually the biggest players are usually the guys that are, nonchalant, laid back, kind of I would say a loner to some extent. It's based on my experience. And I'm kind of a loner to a certain extent. Now, I know a lot of people. I have friends, family, or whatever, but I'm kind of I kind of roll solo. I would say a good 95% of the time. There's a reason for that too. Because it's like, hey, no one else was there but me. Motor mouth people like attention. Well, of course they like attention. People that talk a lot, there's no such thing as too much attention. Especially when it comes to women. Women love attention. They'll take attention from a guy that they don't even necessarily want to get down with, but that's the non-sexual attention. They'll take that all day long. You can spend the whole day with them, 8 hours. They blabbering, and you sitting down listening to everything she's saying. And as soon as it gets dark, she said, "Hey, well, I'm about to go home now. See you next time." And she'll leave you and go home call up Tony to come over her house to knock her down. And you've been hanging with her the whole day. All you get is just friendly conversation. And the reason why you got the friendly conversation, because you was acting like a friend. You was acting like a girlfriend. You didn't even flirt with her. You didn't make no type of pass. You didn't say anything because you didn't want to come across um, in a way that would blow it with her, because you don't want her to get upset with you, because if she gets upset with you, you never get none. That's the lack mentality that a lot of guys have. So it's like they'll be on their pins and needles, walking around on eggshells with women, because they, in their mind, they think, if I don't want to say anything to ruin my chances one day, and it ain't gonna happen if you keep acting like a girlfriend. That's the thing. There's a art, a skill, a science of speaking to people, and you can't talk to everybody the same way. You're not gonna get what you want that way. You can't talk to your mom the same way you talk to your girlfriend, or any woman for that matter, outside of your parents. You can't talk to people at your job the way you would talk to women at the party. It's a different environment. It's like when I was growing up, they call it etiquette. It's like you say different things in different environments. That's usually how that works. It's like the funny thing is, a lot of people, they act like they're at the job when they get home, or they act like they're at the job outside of the on their personal time. That's the funny thing is, and that doesn't work. If you're acting like you're at the job when you're around your friends or on your free time socializing, that's not gonna go anywhere. You're gonna be like one of the girlfriends. The woman's gonna be looking at you like, does this guy really even like me? she gonna be looking like, I don't even know if he really likes me. Then she gonna be like, if that goes on for too long, then she gonna be looking like, this is a waste of time. He's just not the right guy for me. It's just and then you're gonna come off as weak. You're gonna come off like you're not being a man. You're being like a woman, basically. In some cases, worse than a woman. That's the average woman's perception of guys that do that. They come off like, they never made no type of advances. They never flirted. They never rocked the boat. It's like, and the crazy thing is, I've met some guys that's been hanging around women for months, and they don't know where they stand with this woman at all. No clue. They'll say, hell, we're just friends. But if you say, hey, do you know where you stand with this woman? They'll be like, not really. What do you mean, not really? And if you ask the woman, same question. You know where you stand with this man? He's a nice man, but we just friends. No. If you leave it up to the woman to dictate where the relationship is going to go, it's not going to go nowhere. It's going to be all over the place. You got to stop letting women run the show. You got to take the bulls by the horn and roll with it. You got to lead. You can't be like passive aggressive. That don't work. That don't work. That don't work, man. And a lot of guys, they say that a lot of corny like lines and pickup lines and a lot of those, a lot of stuff that other guys say, they just regurgitating and keep repeating the same lines over and over. And the woman, she heard those same lines thousands of times. It's over and over, the same old line. And it doesn't work. So every time she hears the same old line, she kind of just ignore it or act like she didn't hear you. And this is why I dedicated a whole chapter in my first book. I dedicated a whole chapter. It's all about communication, what to say and why you shouldn't say it, and how I approach people, men and women. But, I don't claim to know everything. But one thing I can tell you, the more you try to fit in, the more women will ignore you. The more people will ignore you. What's the name of the first book? Chicken's Guide to Having Women Beg for You. Sex, Lust, and Lies. Amazon.com. The Chicken's Guide to Having Women Beg for You. Sex, Lust, and Lies. Yeah. The more you try to fit in, the more you get ignored. That's what it is. The more you get ignored, man. That's what it is, But people automatically try to fit in because they see other people try to fit in. Yeah, exactly. They know when you just trying too hard. Yeah, when you're trying to do trying too hard, you're trying to do too much things too fast, you come off as fake. And people say, hey, you got fake it till you make it. There's a lot of people giving advice, fake it till you make it and all this. No, you can try to fake it till you make it, but you're not fooling nobody. Because this goes back to what I said a couple minutes ago. Your words and your body is not in alignment. You see, the body never lies. You might lie. The words that come out of your mouth, you might tell lies. The body never lies. And then people can pick up on different things. They pick up on your vibe, and then see, once you start lying, you got to keep lying. And you have to keep up with the lies for weeks and months. And then as soon as you get caught into the lie, game over. You get exposed. And then even still then, most people are not going to call you out on the lie. Most people don't do it. They'll just either you give them permission to start lying now, or they'll just move on. That's usually what happens here in America. Most people, they don't call people out on their lies. They usually they'll start, once they catch you into a lie, they'll start lying. You gave them permission to lie, basically, or they'll just move on. That's usually what happens in this country. Yeah, hit the like button. It's like if you, the more you can be honest with yourself, the more you can demonstrate um, who you are, and that gives you confidence to go out and do things. And the more you can demonstrate what you do, what you're good at, that builds confidence as well. But if you don't know who you are, you have to act like you somebody else. And that's where a lot of people get insecurities from. Because if you have to act like somebody else, that you're like a fraud now. It's kind of like that's why when it's time for, that's why people will say things like I feel like a fraud. I feel like um I'm vulnerable, or people say things like that, and I'm like, they'll ask me if I've ever felt like a fraud. I'm like, no, I've never felt like a fraud, because most of the stuff that I talk about, I've done most of it. So I don't really I'm not insecure like that. I mean, I never really been like that before. So people say, hey, have you ever felt like a fraud as far as writing books and doing videos? And I'm like, no, I've never felt like that one day, 1 second. I'm like, I can't relate to that. It's like, I don't talk about anything that I haven't done. And I don't talk about anything that I don't know about. So people that ask me that, I can't relate to that. That's weird. That's kind of weird to me. It's like, and then a lot of people are, they're telling people to do things and they've never done it before. They're telling people where they should go, how they should think, and they've never been to these places before. I mean, all the places that I talk about, I've been there before a few times, and I even lived there. Some of these places a couple years. So it's kind of weird. It's like, it's a different vibe, different energy out here today. But so always keep in mind that no one can beat you at being yourself. It's like, no one can beat you at being yourself. There's a lot of people that, it's like they they always have to start all over again because they don't know who they are and what they built, or at least what they attempted to build. It didn't have any legs, didn't have any foundation. So eventually it's going to crumble and they have to start all over again. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a business. It could be a job that you had for a couple years, a couple months. It could be a relationship. It's like, if you don't know who you are, you're going to always have to start all over again. It's like your life is going to be like a revolving door. It's like the best conversation you can have is with yourself. It's like the best relationship you can have is with yourself. And if you don't have a good relationship with yourself, it's impossible to have a good relationship with anybody else. You can try to fake the funk, perpetrate the fraud, but you're gonna get exposed every time. That's usually how that works. That's usually how that works. P.S. by the way, follow me on Instagram. Yeah, my Instagram is I'm gonna drop the link in here. I've been on Instagram heavy lately. Heavy lately. What up, Phil? What up? What up? What up? And it's like I said, a lot of the when you're dealing with people, regardless of what language they speak or what culture they from, most of the game is nonverbal. Cosmic warrior in the house. Yeah, most of the game is nonverbal. Most of what people say, you should take that with a grain of salt. You know, it's like it's been many times where I got at a lot of women without even having to say very much, very little. It's like if I catch a woman looking at me in a certain type of way, I know I can get her. When she give me that look of lust, y'all know what if any women in here, y'all know what I'm talking about. If a woman gives you like the look of lust, I'm talking, it's kind of like a stare. You know, if I see that, I got it. I can get that. Now I don't necessarily do it all the time, every time when it happens. But if you get that, if a woman looks at you like that, you can get that. Whether she's married, single, or whatever. And I don't know if she's single. I would know. Yeah. But assuming she's single, you can get that. And a lot of times you don't necessarily have to say anything during that observation. And when it's time for her, and when it's time for you, it's like if a woman is looking at you, staring at you like that, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna put herself in your area. She's gonna make it easy for you. It's not gonna be very difficult. 9 times out of 10, all you have to do is just introduce yourself and get the phone number, or invite her to something, or invite her. Well, you could be on a vacation, or invite her over to your apartment or wherever you're staying at, and to take it from there, basically. And I've done that many times. It's like most of the time, I try to get the woman's attention before I say anything. That's my probably the best approach. Now some people will do the cold approach. They'll walk up to the woman, her back might be turned, and they'll walk behind the woman and walk in front of the woman and say hi and introduce himself, right? That's a cold approach because she don't see it coming, right? That's not my game. That's not my game. I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but that ain't my game. Because I like to get a woman's attention first. And if I can't get her attention, I just move on. So it's like I like for the woman to physically see me. Physically see me first. That's how I roll. That's how I play the game. So it doesn't matter where I'm at either. It doesn't matter. I like her to physically see me, front and center. I want her full 100% attention. That's how I roll. And I talk about this And both of these books. Amazon.com. Hey, don't treat yourself, treat yourself. I just want to hang tail, pack away, get a nut, and I'm out. If she's good, maybe come back for seconds. Hey, Circuit Masters, you still got to talk. You still got to talk anywhere it goes, unless you paying, unless you a trick. Apple Mac in the house. You still got to talk. Say, baby. Nah, that don't work everywhere, Circuit. A lot of women don't like the baby thing. Don't call me no baby. What to do when your approach method leads to a more successful outcome than a cold approach because you have some positive feedback before you shoot your shot. Good. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole. So I'm not catching her off guard at all because she saw me from a distance. You know what I'm saying? So it's like if I'm front and center, even if she ain't paying no attention to me, she might not be necessarily looking at me directly, but she ain't blind. She know I was standing right behind her. She know I was standing right in front of her. Or she was staring, or I caught her staring at me. And then if I catch her staring at me, I don't look away, which is very important. I don't look away at all. I'll stare right at her until she looks away. See, a lot of guys will look away. No, if you look away, that's a sign that you're not confident. That's what she's thinking. And you only get one shot when you're out in public in most cases. You only get one shot. You don't get a round 2 tomorrow. You're not going to see this woman again 9 times out of 10. Not talking just hips, grinding, every now and then a paper bag action. Well, hey man, that's on you, Circuit Masters. If you look away, you send a signal that you're not interested or shy, which is a turn off. Yeah, that's true. But that's taken as a sign of weakness by most women. A woman will undress you with her eyes. That's good if she undress you with her eyes. That's good. You got this shit down. You got this thing down. Yeah, it's a science. The whole thing is a science. Really? Yeah, it's like, that's how them pimps do, baby. That's how them PIMP do. That's how they do it. That's how we catch them. That's how we do it, baby. That's how we do it. The whole thing is science. You don't have to be a PIMP, though. You can just be the average dude and use the same thing. I mean, some guys will say it's all about looks. It ain't all about just one thing. And why would you want to depend on one thing in the first place? I mean, it's a combination of things, and the word one is a bad position to be in if you have to depend on just one thing. No, you want all kinds of tools in your toolbox. You want to dress right. You want to be rolling right. You want to be talking right. You know what I'm saying? It's like you want to have your whatever. How you present yourself should be right. How you walk, how you talk, how you stand. Everything. Just one thing, or hey, just the money. And leave your money in your pocket. All this splurging and paying for women and trying to buy a woman, and you're gonna just you're putting yourself in a bad position if you lead with money. That's some guys play that game, but that's kind of a dangerous game if you lead with money. Yeah, same as just one way, one income. That's not good either. It's like, and who said you have to have just one of everything anyway? Who told you that? Society told you that. You got to have one woman, one shoes, one suit, one car. It's like one job, one income. You got to have one of everything. Who told you that? Nobody ever told me that. That's the thing. I wasn't raised that way. No one ever said, "Hey, you gotta have one of everything. Stick with one woman." Just come on, man. Stick with one job for the rest of your life. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Exactly. I mean, if you want just one woman for the rest of your life, I mean, one woman can't do everything. It's like you kind of got your hands tied. It's like you can't get everything out of one person, man or woman. And it's like that's not even a practical way of thinking. You just got to be honest. I mean, unless you just want to be one of these average dudes out here. I mean, one woman might not be available for all your activities that you have going on. So if that one woman ain't available, what you supposed to do? Just go out? Come on, man. Let's get real. Am I cool with my woman having another man? No. No, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you why. It ain't just because she's sleeping with the other guy. No. Well, I'm gonna tell you why. Because see, I don't know that guy. I know me. I know what I'm about. I know the people, the women that I have around me, I know what they're about. I'm not sure if she knows what that other guy is about. Because I understand how the mind of a woman operates. Everything is based on emotions. For the most part. That's why I say no. Because he might be trying to get at me. He might be trying to run game through her to get at me. I don't know that. I don't want to take that chance. So that's why I'm not cool with that. Well, Cant, that's the same argument for your woman. No, that's not the same argument that women make. Women will say, if you can do it, I can do it. So that's when I be like, this ain't about sleeping. This ain't about sex. It ain't about sex. No, it ain't about sex at all. It's about sex for her, though. That's the thing. But it ain't about sex for me. That's the difference. So you can see, I don't I don't have sex with women just because I want to have sex. That's the thing. I did that when I was in my 20s and early 30s, but I don't have sex with women